Ahoy! I just sat down. Dingo just got a bath. Just vacuumed the house. Even vacuumed out the PlayStation. Got the floor nice and purty. Because Layne is on his way back from the vet, where he is getting presumably both the gray and the white ball chopped off. I wonder what's going to be left. One white ball. They might say we just had to leave this one and tie his tubes or something, because it said that a cat with one white ball is sacred or something. I don't know. Oh, so anyways, welcome, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are, and welcome back to the Easy Reefers Fish Room Science, where the starfish and Callirpa is fucking everywhere. And, ooh, I can't see, Sajin. Holy shit. Let's do something about this, yo. Come on, Bubbles. I already fed you today. That's 2 days in a row, and that doesn't happen that often. Come on, you should be full. Oh, look, somewhere behind there's a fish tank. Oh, it looks like some sort of reef. Interesting. Holy crap. The algae doesn't go quite as well on the glass when I actually have the tub flowing through. Speaking of which, what time is it? Not quite time. Oh shit. I can't have that. Okay. Yeah. Apparently that thing's growing enough to where it's starting to get hit by the algae scrubber. Oh shit. Oh, this has hurt my back. Fuck. Oh yeah, manly man getting felled by an algae scraper. Oh. Great, that's fucking my price attacked by a cheap coin. That's good. Well, not price, it's just, that's a pretty expensive acro right there. Speaking of acros, I wonder what the hell, oh my god. I love my wife. Sometimes she just knocks a coral back behind some shit and doesn't pick it up. Remember that acro? That really pretty one? I didn't see it, did you? I'm just gonna put the phone down for a minute. Hopefully I can find this shit before she she pulls up. And hopefully, it's not dead. Come on, something be left. Something. Just a pollock. Something. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, it's gone. Oh, if that comes back, that would just take a fucking miracle. Shit. Out of the wings. Yeah, it's pretty much toast. There might be a little life left in the base, but I think I'm kidding myself. The thing is fucking flesh free, basically. Where's my cigarette? Damn it. That one was a lot more important than the green Goniopora. I never thought that green Goniopora would last as long as it did. I had that shit fucking growing. Oh, and now I've just left my Monopora leaning backwards. Well, whatever, that's good enough for now. Filming, pissed off. So, yeah. The moral of the story is never forget to check on your corals after your half-blind wife cleans the caloric out of your tank. Because it's not her fault when she's doing something fucking nice. But still. Oh. Dead fucking coral. it's tomorrow there already, so hello from the future. Alright, I needed a joke. Anyways. Oh god, I want it to like magically come back. Okay. Actually, where it's supposed to be. My. Come on, my. Fuck you. Go on. Really? Oh, for fuck's sake. Shit. Alright. I'm singing some sort of weird 80s song. Force feeding my two anemones. I don't know. Alright, Layne is here. Hello, sperm-free kitten. Yeah, let's put him over here.
They said that the anesthesia might mess with his stomach a little bit, but aside from that, he should be back to normal tomorrow.
Alright. Let me make sure the camera's angled. Yep, we're good to go. Misha, it's your friend. Hey, Layne.
He's hungry.
Layne. Oh, the look of mistrust.
I know, he was rubbing his, I had my fingers in the cage the whole ride home and he was just rubbing on me.
Misha's checking out the carrier. Oh, he's gone into the hiding spot. We go and hide in the bedroom when the vacuum's on.
Please don't be mad at me.
Oh. Hey, honey.
He had his butt facing the cage door until he heard my voice and he jumped up and turned around.
You're hungry, baby.
Misha's like, food? And yes, if you're wondering, that's a broken pillow pet that needs to be sewed.
I promise you'll never have to do that again. I promise.
Literally not possible.
I missed him so much.
Oh, I can't do the camera. That's all we get. There's Misha trying to hit on top of it. It's kind of hilarious.
I took my shoes off, you dumbass. Fucking laptop.
Layne. Layne. Stop chewing that fucker. Layne, cut it out. Yeah, there you go. Eat your food. I have a gripe with you.
You have a what?
I have a gripe with you.
A gripe with me?
You know the really pretty Acropora?
Gone?
You let it fall back between the pot and the rock. I pulled it back out just to see what happens to it, whether it gets covered with algae and polyp comes back. Right there with you, Layne. You lost your balls, I lost my coral. I'm hoping when the blues go on that I'll see some sign of a polyp on there at the base, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't look like anything's left. But there was part of it facing up a little bit. I mean, it's fucking acro. It needs a lot of light. That's why I had it up on the top in the middle. Hey, honey. He's like catatonic.
He's got anesthesia in his.
You smell the fish tank? Poor baby.
All telling me how adorable he is. Like, where did you get him? Said the neighbor's kids brought him to me, and then his mama got hit by a car. I'm like, oh.
That's how my part always gets left out.
He had his butt. And she goes, hey, Layne, say hi to Mommy. I said, hey, baby. And he, head just whipped around like, Mommy?
Mm-hmm.
Your friend's home, Misha. I don't think he's going to be up for that tonight, baby. You weren't when you came back from the vet.
So I spent about 2 weeks out there trying to make friends with these little cats.
He was
And had managed to pet this one.
We even brought him back to see his mommy a couple times.
Yeah. I had the food sitting, and I got 20 feet away and just kind of inched my way up, and then laid down, and then kind of stretched my hand out and just barely pet the cats while they were eating. And he was the one that stayed and let me pet him. The rest of them bugged out. And his daddy is the bob-tailed minx.
I know.
That one that we filmed the other day, or the other week, a couple months ago.
I told you, Jeff, I still love you. I was coming back for you.
That weird little bobcat looking thing.
Bob.
Bob. Yeah. It was a mix. Kind of like a lynx, only smaller and more boring.
Fatter too. Lynxes are like
Yeah.
lean. This one's a little chubby fucker.
Very domestic, like that crazy bob, and like some extra badass on the ears. He's just got a little bit of this little fur spike that sticks up on the middle of his ears. It's kind of cool.
They asked me this morning if I wanted to get his ear notched. I said, don't touch my baby's ears.
It is. It is so freaking soft. Like, it's unbelievably soft. This is beautiful. What is that? Velvet?
Hmm.
Clean.
Looks good.
I cooked nowhere, son. I has mommy. Mommy has me. That's all that matters. Layne, look at the camera. Oh, jeez. Misha, Misha, Misha. Go all the way back there. Stop. He's just like hanging his face over watching. Hey, look, playing. I know what playing is. I think. I've played once. I don't know how long ago that was, but I remember having played. It's a part of me somehow.
He officially has his rabies tag too.
Mm.
Yeah, his rabies shots.
The only cat in the neighborhood.
He's got all his shots and his rabies tag. Misha's got a rabies tag somewhere.
Oh, and so does Simba.
Yeah, Simba's is in a box somewhere.
Maybe at Brandy's house. They never throw anything away.
She probably ate it. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Thought it was a chiclet.
A green chiclet.
Anyways.
My boss did ask me why I looked upset, and I told him I had to take my cat to get his balls snipped, and he just looked at me and eyes got like really wide, and he goes, "You're a bad mama." And walked off. I said, "I'm not a bad mama. I'm a responsible mama." Have your pet spayed and neutered.
I wish you would have burst in. Oh, but I'm a good wife and I need to talk to you about something.
I told him I needed to talk to him, and he told me to call him tomorrow.
Anyway. Misha. No, ma'am. Misha. No, ma'am. Misha, get down from there. Psst. No, ma'am. There you go. You can stay on there. Good kitty. No. No. Figure it out. Back up. No, no. No.
She's like, "But I figured it out, Daddy."
I figured it out. This is the thing I'm not supposed to be on. Oh, there's 1, 2 seats I'm going to.
Oh. He's like something's missing.
Stop that.
He doesn't have any stitches or anything. They said I didn't have to worry about any sutures or anything like that. I'm just trying to get the smell of the vet off of me, Daddy.
I don't want to say too soon, but I think there might be some on the base, just maybe a little. I'm kind of heartbroken about that coral, man. That was a pretty little piece of aggro. So pretty. And now, so dead. It's just horrible. Like, that's not even something I grew, you know, that's something somebody else grew. I just feel bad about that. And I saw, it's not cheap shit. So I was kind of, you know, holding on to that as a business investment, I thought.
I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. The Duncan's got 3 new heads.
Yeah. I know what Duncans are called to get more of them. I don't even know what that was called. Oh. So, how the hell are you guys?
I went to the bank 4 times today.
Yeah, if you break corals, frag corals, as long as it's done properly and they're allowed to sit on something that they can reattach to, and it varies coral to coral, the process, you know, but they can be broken apart and replicated and caused to grow in numerous little stumps. That's what's called propagation. That's how they do it at the coral farms and stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately, this particular piece wasn't big enough to cut apart. Typically you want to do that when the coral has more than one head on it, and this was only just splitting it into two. So it was much more safe and stable. Well, should have been.
I'm sorry. Oh, he's picking on me.
They're emailing people. Like, I killed my husband's coral. I need to know what type it was so I can get him another one. Oh well, it can wait until we get the store, I suppose, if that ever happens. Oh, speaking of the store, I actually found someone who's almost figured out, like, the Lego buildings thing. They get the same size sections, they just do it differently. And of course, not flippers. But it was fascinating to see the build process. And it's just as quick as I thought it would be. But alas, I can't remember their name. I don't think that's gonna happen once I start advertising mine. Dusted it off a little bit. What I don't want to happen is for my moon lights to shut off. This thing needs to have blue light on it all night. If you ever have a coral that gets dropped, or you're trying to nurse a coral back to health, new coral gets shipped to you, keep the blue, what kind of coral, even an anemone, keep the blue light on all night. wrapping all of stuff just fine. Well,
So Ryan's car was having issues at Daytona today.
practice?
No,
Hmm.
the race.
Oh, Friday, that's right.
Hmm.
Shit.
Apparently
First race.
they put the wrong kind of gas in their car, and it caused them to lose 5 to 6 miles an hour.
Is he sure he doesn't want to hire me? Because I wouldn't have put a different type of gas in there without at least changing the fucking spark plugs like a motorcycle mechanic. Lower number, hotter temperature. Lower number, hotter temperature. Right? Isn't that right? Any motorcycle guys? Does Neville know he's Australian? No, wait. They don't all become motorcycle guys until they move to Europe. Oh, come on, that's funny. Show me an Australian guy in Europe, and I'll show you a guy with a motorcycle sitting somewhere nearby. Unless he's a yacht owner. I mean, unless he's a yacht owner, there's a motorcycle somewhere. I'm telling you. Oh no, not food. Oh god. Just a whole line of food videos came up on the recommendations. And I'm sitting here waiting on a pizza we ordered.
Is Layla here?
Yes.
Okay.
Is a daily stocked 20 gallon if there is 2 fish in a 20 gallon without a sump. 4 fish with a sump. Yeah, I don't have the heat on yet, but sorry. Maybe I'll just set up this. I'm just gonna set up this little tank I got, frag tank. I'm gonna see if that works. What kind of corals I can grow with that cheap ass little light right there. Oh, look at that. Both of the lights disappeared. And now they just came back. Well, that was weird. Or is it just had 0 likes for a second? That was bizarre. I've never seen that. I've never felt more like I hallucinated until this moment. Yeah, the problem with a frag tank is the lighting quality, of course. So I'm not going to put anything in there right away that I don't have multiples of. However, it would be interesting to see what, if anything, I could get to grow with just that little light right there. However, I need to run some fresh water through that tank for a while because it's been nasty for a hot minute. It even had a little bit of formalin in it. I suppose I could try to run it like an incubator with a drip line. Link it up to the system. Slow flow. But again, the lighting is the issue. That little light, it's okay. it's nothing impressive, that's for sure. It wouldn't keep that acro alive, I don't think. It might keep the Hollywood Stunner.
Nothing is going to kill that Hollywood Stunner.
Yeah, a flashlight will keep the Hollywood Stunner alive. Like you just light cigarettes by the tank.
Right?
Just chain smoke by the tank, and that's enough light for a Hollywood Stunner. It's like codium. You get codium and Hollywood Stunner in your tank, you got a fucking worry-free tank. But that's what I want to do. I want to adapt the Hollywood Stunner to that little tank. I'll take half the codium out of the back tank and put it in there.
Yeah.
Instant stability. Instant freaking stability though with that codium. I'm going to make a point of pushing a lot of that on my beginner customers. Cheapest way to make a giant piece of wood float and make it stronger than it would be if it was solid wood. And no, y'all can't see.
No, not in my house.
When I officially hire Conway as a consultant, then I can fly him down here. Then he can see. But this is like, I don't know, probably the way some like old Indian guys build it. And I don't mean American Indian. I would say Native American. Now, like in India, they got some genius floating shit. You know, they had their flood, and they took it seriously.
Oh. Hey, dear.
Indeed.
I heard it's gonna snow next week.
Huh, sweet.
Tuesday. I told Melissa I'm gonna have anal glaucoma that day. I'm gonna see my ass going into work. I couldn't get there anyway. If they shut down the roads, I'm screwed because we're surrounded by bridges. They're all shut down every time it freezes or snows.
Like, no, I'm the only one in Taiwan who's actually prepared for this shit. I got the type of CRV they don't sell around here for no reason. Actually, there is a reason why they don't sell all-wheel drive CRVs in the South. If Joey was watching, I would fully explain. Maybe I should, anyways. It's about the overall fuel mileage of Honda as a car maker. So, up north, they sell the all-wheel drive models because they're good in wet weather, and frozen weather, icy, slippery conditions. And down in the South, we would still like the all-wheel drive models. Plenty of people would, but you could hardly ever find them. And the reason why is because of the all-wheel drive models get 2 miles per gallon less average fuel economy, mostly on the highway. So because of this, Honda has to sell, you know, a proportional number of the better fuel mileage ones to maintain its overall braggability status. And I think Trump undid the actual regulations they were trying to meet up to here in America. So we might see more all-wheel drive models in the South, but I think having it based on fuel mileage as a standard is overall good for the environment anyway, so, yeah. If people really want the all-wheel drive, they can get the all-wheel drive. Otherwise, I mean, I've sat there with customers and seen them debate whether or not all-wheel drive or the better gas mileage versus the price for the all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive is always more expensive, naturally. So it's not as though everyone in the South wants an all-wheel drive.
I just got called by their mom.
But up north, it's like, that's the one they want you to get, you know? Coffee! Well, it's like 2 average, but I think it was like 3 or 4 on the highway. You know?
Oh, hi, Mommy. I didn't know you were home.
And highway mileage actually is really big in the South. They're probably selling more because of the availability, the wide availability and options in the 2-wheel drive models. You know?
Has it been made?
No.
Oh, you need to make it. Sorry.
I just took a sip of coffee and got I don't know what in my mouth. Anyways. Yeah. This beam is both genius and incredibly fucking simple. I mean, I can go to Home Depot and get everything I need to make it. It is built on existing available parts. And it's gonna be light as hell. And it's double redundancy, like, you know, it has a redundant flotation device, basically. 2 layers of floating. 2 separate air pockets. One inside the other. And all sealed off. And still easy to make. So we'll be making these by specific links, you know, like we'll be making them factory style. And using them, you know, like where people use steel. I don't want to use steel. If I use steel, I'm going to use minimal steel. Because I think the steel industry is a wartime industry that has been that the economy has been overburdened with supporting. And speaking of overburdening the economy, I think I might have started into a point and never finished it about Ronald Reagan. There was something Ronald Reagan did to really fuck up the economy. And, you know, when it comes to fixing the economy, you can have all kinds of silly little Bernie Sanders ideas and stupid Republican ideas and, you know, this, that, and the other. Or, you can look back in history and see what made the economy work and why the hell it broke. Then undo those changes. Now, one of those things was the government regulation on interstate freight rates. That is the price setting, basically, you know, normally updated through research but regularly set so that people couldn't undercut each other for 18-wheeler hauling. Okay? Now, this is really important. People don't know this. Jimmy Carter gets the blame by Rush Limbaugh for this. And he's a complete fucking liar. Because Ronald Reagan is the one who deregulated 18-wheeler driver pay. Jimmy Carter deregulated the airline industry cargo rate. Ronald Reagan deregulated the interstate cargo rate. And you can ask any educated 18-wheeler driver, and they'll tell you the same fucking thing. Anybody who used to drive back in the 80s. See, I had a bunch of people in my family from educated lineage decide to invest in an 18-wheeler and become a driver, because back in the day you could make a solid $60,000 to $90,000 a year paying for your investment, you know, able to buy a house, able to have something to show your family, you know, like, it took a lot of know-how, a lot of hard work, took a lot of time away from home, a lot of time on the road, a lot of endurance, stamina, and dedication. And having quality people at the helm of those road ships, I don't think we need any data to show. It is only common sense that proves was safer. You have higher paid people, you have more competent people. Period. The job market itself becomes more competitive. And people without a perfect safety record, guess what? They're not working. So then what do you have? Flawlessly competent 18-wheeler drivers who, by the way, because they make lots of money, they pay mechanics, they pay big shops. Big shops start working on 18-wheelers regularly and keeping them nice and shiny and well-maintained like they used to back in the 80s. Do you remember the privately owned, big, shiny 18-wheelers? The right-wing fight against unionization and the mafia corruption of unionization came from the same source, that is Russian intelligence. Period. Seemingly short-term advantageous, but obviously medium and long-term self-destructive. That goes for every corporation who gets blamed for it, too. Because, guess what? The Russians infiltrate those, too. The Russians infiltrate those, too. And it's all about, you know, a marketing person here, a board member there. All just pushing one line of logic until eventually everybody caves. And that becomes their logic too. So, Speaking of logic, I'm kind of in disbelief, but I think I may have actually been successful in creating a 12 by 12 beam, 16 feet long, that one person can lift. And it's stronger than solid wood. Yep, pretty handy. Still evolving, because, you know, until I get to the actual build process, it'll be a matter of actually seeing what's cheapest. And then, of course, it has to be easy to build, easy to repeat. It's got to go very quickly. Anyways, I'm sitting here thinking about this rig. I think it was on a YouTube win video or something like that. The guy was building wall sections, and he had a bunch of nail guns sort of on a rack in a row. It just went ka-chunk. Anyway, I was saying that might be handy to have, you know. How many walls would you have to build for that to be worth all the nail guns, though? And could you order the parts of the nail guns and assemble them to a fabricated piece of metal, you know, a bracket, instead of something with a handle on it? Hey, Misha.
Where's Layne off to?
Is Layne back there?
No, sir, he's not back here.
Misha,
Where's your little leg?
look everywhere. Layne. All right. Well, camera was all glitching, didn't realize it. Anyways, Misha came up on my lap, and I just wanted to make sure she wasn't worried about Layne. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's a graphic driver glitch. Wonder what might have been causing that.
Keep going.
But anyways, that's going to be all for the time being. I'll be on in probably about 5 hours or so, around midnight, as usual. And, well, hope this was mildly entertaining or interesting or whatever. Soothing, relaxing, something. Hope you enjoyed watching. And thanks for your support, likes, subscription, chatting, hanging out. And as always, yes, 12 by 12. And of course, it's a pleasure chatting with Mr. Conway. And everybody pray for tomorrow. Pray that tomorrow is a good day for 12 by 12 beams.